right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to all the new comic books coming out this Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. Sorry I'm running a little bit late today, but we just had a big blizzard over here on the East Coast, and I had to spend most of the day digging it out and digging through almost 2 feet of snow, it felt like. So I'm exhausted. So I might run through this a little bit quicker than normal. We'll see how it goes. But with that said, hopefully you're enjoying this show as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang out for a few seconds after the break, and I will be right back. All right, well, let's kick it off with the top of the stack. These are my top of the pile first read books that when I get my comics this Wednesday, these are going to be the first ones I crack open to continue those stories that I've been looking forward to all week. And this week, one of my favorite titles out of Marvel. I know everybody craps on Marvel these days, but they are putting out a few good books. And one of the ones that I do like these days is The Mighty Thor, or The Mortal Thor, I'm sorry. The Mortal Thor, interesting take, revisionist take on Thor here. Awesome Alex Ross covers done by, and then Al Ewing writing this thing. Like I said, I've been enjoying this run so far, and we have issue 7 coming out this week with a couple of covers. You got the Ross, you got another option here, and then we do have a that's it, actually, because there are other variants, but we'll get to those later. So we're going to roll right into Psylocke Ninja, another title that I surprisingly liked. I thought this was going to be a cover sell only book, just cheesecake for the sake of cheesecake, but the actual story was kind of fun, going back to the old Madripoor days with Psylocke and her assassin nature, and we got Elektra showing up here. This is has been a good read so far. Granted, only one issue, so we got issue 2 here. Looking forward to this one as well. So that's why it's near the top here for me, because like I said, I'm a sucker for ninjas and stuff. So awesome cover A. This one's pretty good, but there are a lot of good options here. You have an In-Hyuk Lee on the B, also not bad. We got a Josh Sway, so you got the Swaby here. We also have this option over here, and then there is the incentive books where you could get the 1 in 25, which is really awesome here. I really dig this one. It's got a almost like a Castlevania cartoon kind of vibe to it, you know, the animation style and that Netflix show. It kind of gives me that sense, but I like it. That's the 1 in 25, and then the Sway has a 1 in 50 virgin version without the trade dress on it, so you can go that route if you decide to. But as I said, if I were going to buy an incentive, I might go with this 1 in 25, but otherwise I might just stick with the cover A and call it a day. Now, also on the top of my pile, it's been months since we've had a regular installment of Hyde Street. So issue 10's coming out this week after a little bit of a sabbatical. I mean, we did have that Sisterhood miniseries that ran for a while there, and they're kind of, I think, connect some dots here. But the last regular Hyde Street, I think, was September, and it's February now, folks. So that was a long break for us. But issue 10 coming out this week with a handful of covers. You got this one. Yeah, I got that one over there. We got Mr. X-Ray over here, which is kind of cool. I might go with the X-Ray. I think I like this one the best. And we got our 4th option here for open order, which is the Youngblood book, which also makes me feel like this book got delayed a little bit because the Youngblood books were what? Feels like they were months ago at this point. But Youngblood returns. I mean, there are Youngblood's up to issue 3. So, yeah, this is a little bit late. And then there is a black and white version of said cover for Youngblood as well. Oh, sorry for the Wonder Woman book. That doesn't belong there. A little mistake in editing. But then we also have the 1 in 20, which, no, that is not Baxter Stockman. This is the kind of cereal box variants they were doing on Hyde Street before they took their little break, as I mentioned earlier. So there you go. Even though it does look a lot like Baxter Stockman, doesn't it? The fly here. But with that, 1 in 20 is your option. And now we will go over to my blind pick for this week. And this is a book, again, I have no prior knowledge, no early access or anything like that. I'm just betting that this one, based off of the criteria and the creative team, etc., that I think is going to be a pretty solid book or a solid read. And for this one, I'm a little biased. Yeah, I was a big fan of Predator Badlands, and I've enjoyed what they've been doing with the Aliens and Predator titles of late here at Marvel. Granted, you don't need all the crossovers for everything, even though some of them have been good, some of them have not been. But I'm looking forward to this Predator Bloodshed here for a little bit more Predator action. So you got Pretty cool cover A here. I'm going to check this one out. We've also got this awesome B cover by Dan Panosian. This is obviously, I'm a Dan Panosian fan, so I'm going to probably get this one. But there is a 1 in 25. Not bad here. You got the targeting laser system. Really cool look there by Dwali. And then we do have that Panosian brought back in a Virgin for the 1 in 50. I'm fine with the trade dress, and so I'll just get that one and leave the incentive variants for those who want to spend more money than me. Now, before we move on to the rest of the show, I want to remind anybody out there who does like to save money that they can save 10% off all of their supplies if they make an order over at BCW and use my code RENA10. RENA10 for 10% off all your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, your CGC boxes, your top loaders for your comics or your cards. Basically, anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. You can get supplies over at BCW. And if you're going to spend money on supplies, you might as well save some while you do it. Use my code RENA10 for 10% off your entire order. You help out the channel. You get yourself a discount. You got nothing to lose by doing so. Now, we are going to go right into the different publishers, starting off with DC. But I decided that, you know what, it is about time that we break apart the Absolute Universe from regular DC proper, because it is a different streamline of books. So we're going to cover the Absolute books here first, because I normally cover those first anyway, because a lot of these books are the top of my pile or near the top of my pile if they're not in that top of the stack section. So with that said, let's take a look at what Absolute Universe titles we have offering to us this Wednesday when we go to the shops, because we have two. The first one being Absolute Martian Manhunter here. So we have issue 9 of this series. May not be for everybody, but I'm still enjoying this weird, wild read. And issue 9 is coming out this week. I'm probably going to go with the cover A. This seems to be, it's not bad. I like this one, but you have other options, no incentives. So you pick your favorite. You can go with the B. You can go with the C. I think this one's a Dan Hip. Or you can go with your fourth option here. I'm going to just, like I said, stick with the cover A, keep it simple, and just continue to read this pretty awesome story. Also out this week, and part of my normal pull list, and yes, you can see my little pull list coin right there. So anytime you see that, that's a book that I'm personally going to be picking up this week. We are getting Absolute Wonder Woman number 17. I like it when characters interact with the trade dress. So here we have Giganta grabbing a hold of the Absolute Wonder Woman title. I think that's pretty cool, but this is not going to be the cover that I get, despite the fact that you save a buck by getting the cover A. No, the cover B, solid as well. This is, I believe, is a Derek Chu. Really cool look there. If you look at her face a bit, she looks a little bit like Stephanie Vaquer. If you guys watch wrestling, on Monday nights, Monday Night Raw, which is tonight, I'll watch that as soon as I'm done filming this. But she kind of looks like Stephanie Vaquer there with the makeup. I don't know, just like the dark. I don't know, just saying. Third option, also solid with this red cover. I like it. But my favorite, I don't know why. It's just with the fists up. I know it kind of looks like an homage to the Batman that we got not that long ago. I forget, there was the Dark Knight kind of thing. But I dig this one. This is probably my favorite cover of the bunch. So I will pay the extra buck for this one and get the cover D in this instance. Now, with that said, let's go over to DC proper, DC regular, the regular DC universe, and see what we got there, because we have plenty of books to cover that may be related to KO, may not be related to KO. We'll save the KO stuff for a minute, because first we're going to get into regular old Batman with Detective Comics. These Michael Janin covers have been pretty awesome. I didn't put up the finale, but this is the end of a story arc here, so we're going to be wrapping up this Courage That Kills. And pretty awesome. Like I said, I'm going to get this cover here, the cover A, save that book, even though there's a pretty neat Bjorn Barons. Like, this kind of messed up. I don't know. It's got a creepy look to it. I like that Bjorn Barons. And then we do have a third option here as well if you want to go that route. Steve Scroce, I believe. Kind of a more traditional Batman jumping down. Pay attention to how his cape reacts here, because we're going to get into that a little bit later. But we're going to move on to Green Lantern next. Issue 32 with this ring. Yeah, if you notice, I do not have the little pull list logo on this one, because they stopped all the little guest stars, like Flash showed up, Batman showed up, Green Arrow showed up. They stopped all that. So you know what? This seems like a good time for me to tap out, because I can't keep up. I can't keep up with all the books. So Green Lantern, I'm going to set this aside for a bit. If I'm making a mistake and this is a good issue or a good series, please correct me. Let me know in the comments down below. But for now, taking a timeout from regular Green Lantern proper, like I have also with Green Lantern Corps, even though we are getting that show soon. Looking forward to the show, but for the comic, I need a timeout. This is the A. There is a B cover here, as well as a C, and a fourth option as well. No incentives, as DC has kind of put most of the books on hiatus from doing incentives. So pick your favorite out of these four and run with it. Harley Quinn also has four covers, this being the first for issue number 59. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the Harley book because I'm not a Harley Quinn reader. Yeah, some of the covers can be pretty awesome, and I pick them up occasionally. But as far as the title goes, and again, it's nothing against Harley. It's just sometimes with characters like that, I don't regularly read Deadpool either. It's just sometimes the off the wall characters. It's just not for me. I don't know. But the David Nakayama is pretty cool. I do like this one, even though little poor choicement there on the seam. If you see what I'm looking at there down below, there, David. But hey, still a cool image. And then we do have In-Hyuk Lee over here with an option, and then a fourth one as well. So pick your favorite and run with that one. I think this is Elizabeth Torque on this final one. Then we have the end of this Godzilla Justice League Kong Part 2 Legendary crossover. Yeah, I like the first one. I couldn't get into the second one. I don't know why. I think it was just too much too quickly. There's too many Godzilla books, too many Godzilla crossovers. It's just fatigue. I mentioned it before, Godzilla fatigue. And I love Godzilla. He's right here. It's one of my favorites. I got my huge, Shogun Warrior guy next to me. But as far as the miniseries goes with issue 7, this is the end. We have a handful of issue covers for you. You got one, you got two with a big Godzilla foot there. You got this option here. I think was a connecting cover set by Alan Qua. And then we do have a fourth option here as well. So pick your favorite and run with that one. We're also getting a one-shot this week for the new history of the DC universe that focuses on the Dakota incident or the Dakota universe. So for Black History Month, it seems fitting. So we got a one-shot coming our way with that. $6 on the cover A, and then there's a couple other cover options here as well. But as you know, with DC, with the card stock, you got to pay an extra $1 if you want to go with these other covers. But here they are. You got the B cover. I think was that Dennis Cohen? Looks like Cohen on that one. I like the homage here to the 52. I think that's kind of fun. And then we have a fourth one here as well. So pick it up if you're interested. Oh, I'm sorry. And a fifth. Forgot about the fifth option. There are 5 covers. Here are 5 covers after all. So here we go with the fifth one. And now we will run into DCKO. No mainline title here. We just have the tie-ins, so you don't have a core title to worry about. But if you're reading the tie-ins or any of the tie-ins, we do have 3 for you this week, starting off first with The Flash. So Flash number 30, tying into the event, racing into the unknown. There you go, number 30. 3 covers here. You got 1, you got 2, and you've got 3. So if you're reading Flash currently, I feel like I want to get back into Flash, but maybe after KO is over, because I couldn't get in. I kept feeling I was behind in the Lemire run, and now that Wade's steering the ship, I don't know if I need to wait until after DC KO is over, but I do want to take a dip a toe back into the Flash book because I haven't read Flash in a while. We also have Justice League Unlimited, so the Terrific 10 Part 5. Tying in there. So I don't know if we're done with this little multiversal team that Terrific's put together for us with the Batman Beyond and Blue Superman, etc. But looks like this is still rolling on for now. Issue 16 of Unlimited with multiple cover options. You got one, you got a Martian Manhunter, you got a Star Sapphire, we've got Metamorpho Dan Hip cover right here. We've also got this option as well by John Jiang with the whole team lineup, etc. And then that is our tie-in for Justice League Unlimited. And then our final and third tie-in for the week to KO is Superman. So main Superman title, just plain old Superman. The end is nigh. Issue 35, $5 here on the cover A. Then we have this thing. We talked about it with Superman Unlimited last week. Why in the hell did you cut this picture there in the middle of his face? This looks ridiculous on its own. Again, make it a wraparound so we get the whole thing in one shot, but why would you separate this into 2 books right there? Poor choice. Because I'll tell you, the full image together, it's a good Superman. It's a good Superman by Gilliam March. I like this. You can't cut it in half where they cut it in half, though. That's just ridiculous. Anyway, other cover options here as well. We got this one by Rod Reyes. Pastor, I think, on this next one. And then who else we got? And we got a fifth one as well. I'm not sure of the artist here on the fifth one, but there is our DCKO Superman title for number 35. Again, apologies if I'm going through this too quickly. It's just I'm exhausted. I thought about doing this live, but I didn't have it in me to deal with the chat and try to get through everything I had to get through. So maybe one of these days we'll do one of these live. But for now, this will just drop late as soon as I'm done. But we're not done because we still have things like DC Vertigo to get through. And I've enjoyed the return of Vertigo. Well, at least the two of the three titles that have come out so far that I've read, I liked them both. Bleeding Heart and the End Life or whatever the book that came out last week. Can't remember the title of it, but the one with the hitman. I said Logan Paul could play a good character for that. Anyway, this week we got a detective story, which is also right up my alley. I like a good detective story, noir stuff, and an Ezra Kane mystery here, the brutal dark. I'm kind of looking forward to this one as well. I like this kind of stuff. I like noir books. Gives me even just looking at the front of this is giving me like Brubaker Phillips kind of vibes. I know it's not Brubaker and Phillips; it's Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips, but still, it reminds me of the other two. Anyway, cover A here. There's a Tula Lote, not bad here on the B cover. Then we have a Jorge Fornes, I think, on this one, right? Or am I? No, it's Hayden Sherman. Hayden Sherman did this one. And then we have an Aries on this one. And then we do have a connecting cover with this one. And this is the last part of the connecting cover Return of Vertigo set, where we can see all the characters in a line walking together here. So boom, there we go. End of Life number 1. That was the name of the book. That couldn't place it. And Bleeding Hearts. And then again, it all started with the return of Nice House by the Sea number 7. So Vertigo is back. And as I said, I'm enjoying it so far. So with that, let's move on to the variant cover sets for DC for this week. And we have the Valentine's Day covers continuing, even though Valentine's Day is now in our rearview mirror. DC still rolling out these variants with a 2 or 3. I think we got 2 or 3 this week. Starting off first with this one, Harley. So we got Harley and Poison Ivy on Harley Quinn number 59. And I love these Chrissy Zulo covers. I hope she keeps doing these card variants, or when they do these kind of seasonal card variants, that they keep her on, because she handles them quite well. And then we've also had the Green Arrow, Justice League Unlimited gives you Black Canary and Green Arrow. And then Superman is that other title where we got Superman and Lois here, even though it looks like Superboy. It's, Superman and Lois. So with that, that is that variant set. And then we move on to Black History Month, where we have a pair of titles continuing on here as we've got a couple more titles. We're ending the month of February, but we seem to only have a handful of covers. We only have like 3 or 4 covers. So maybe it'll be rolling into March a little bit here. But Green Lantern number 32. We've got this one by Torrin Clark. And then we have a another Torrin Clark. I think Clark did all these covers, but we have Vixen on the Justice League Unlimited, which is a pretty cool cover. I kind of like the way she's hidden there in the jungle, almost like a lion there, or a tiger, I guess, a beast of prey, if you will. Anyway, I like it. Pretty cool cover there, and probably my favorite of this group so far. But we're not going to stick here for very long, because we're going to move on over to Marvel and see what Marvel has for us for this week and this final week of February. And we have a bunch of stuff. So we are going to start off first with regular old Marvel books before we get to the X-Men side of things and even the Spider-Man side of things. But Black Panther Intergalactic number 3, continuing on. I've said it before, just not really into the Black Panther and space stuff. So I'm just waiting for him to get back. So this will keep going. Number 3, cover A, not bad, but the cover B is really nice. I really like this. ACO, how to spell the artist's name. I dig this. The colors, they pop. I like the art. Solid cover. So if I were to pick it up, I'd get it just for this cover alone, which I actually still might, depending on what it looks like when I go into the shop on Wednesday. If it really grabs me, I might just grab it anyway. But also, I am going to pick up the Infernal Hulk, because I've liked this crazy ass story with the monster Hulk, this villainous Hulk at this point. But number 4 looks like we're getting a throwback to all the old versions of the Hulk. So Into the Hulkscape. Fun. I remember the last time we did something similar. Remember when Doc Samson was going through all the different personalities of the Hulk way back in the day with during the Peter David run back in the 90s. It, off the top of my head, that's what I'm thinking of when I see this. But Legacy number 815 coming out here. Klein cover, probably the one that I get, though we do have a second option here. This is a, why am I drawing a blank? Drawing a blank on the artist. It's he did some image stuff back in the day. Anyway, I'm gonna have to leave it there because I'm just drawing a blank on the artist's name. But there is a 1 in 25 option here as well with Rainbow Hands Hulk. So if you want to get the 1 in 25 with the rainbow colored hands of Hulk all over the Hulk, there you go. Got blue ones, red ones, green ones, but they left the yellow out. Remember the yellow from the Marvel Avengers? We had the yellow Hulk. Where's that yellow hand? I don't know. I guess maybe that's supposed to be the one at the top. Looks still kind of greenish to me. But moving on, Iron Man. So Iron Man number 2, and I really dig this cover here because I like the reflection. See Madam Mask there in the reflection on the Iron Man helmet is pretty cool, and we do get a reverse option as well, as we have Madam Mask, who also has a reflective face, reflecting Iron Man in hers. So I like this kind of a 2 cover option here, mirror images, if you will. I think it's a cool idea. And well, I'm gonna get issue 2 because you know, at the new run of Iron Man, I'm giving it a shot. So we'll see where this goes. But there we go with these 2 mirror image covers. I might go with the A, but there are some fun other options here, like the Eric Larson with the throwback kind of 70s look. I like that. It's kind of fun. You also have the Scotty Young, which is a connecting cover with all these Iron Man armors. This is the second issue. So here's the second one with the War Machine there. And then we've got last week's or last month's issue 1. So there we go, building this thing out. It should be a pretty fun connecting cover set. And then we have this Dreadnought cover and by Scroce. And then we also have a 1 in 25 that we need to take a look at. And again, this is a ACO, ACO. Love the Black Panther. Not loving his rendition of Captain America, though, because, I don't know. First glance, I was like, all right, it's not bad. I like the colors, pops. I like the pose, everything. But I'm looking in at Cap and Cap's chest in particular, and let's take a look at this, a little closer look. I mean, everybody makes fun of Rob for him with that huge, you know, the bulging chest, etc. But what's going on here? Them look like boobs. Just saying. They look like boobs, Cap. Anyway, moving on. Punisher, number 1. So we got a new number 1 for Punisher. This is volume 1002, it feels like at this point. Because, wow. How many different runs of Punisher have we had? And even with all of those different runs of Punisher, I can't believe we're only at Legacy number 280. 280. Seems like a lot, doesn't it? There's more Deadpool books. Can you believe there's more Deadpool than there is Punisher? Seems crazy to me. But anyway, issue 1 coming out this week. I'm going to give it a look-see. Got to give it a try. I mean, always got to give Punisher a try. There's the cover A. There is the Born Again cover. It's kind of cool getting the just the logo, just the image, the classic skull. It's kind of cool, right? But then we got other options here too. We got this one here, as well as the JTC negative space, which is probably gonna be the one that I get because I like these negative space variants still. And the Punisher with the black, I like it. I don't know what else to tell you. Though I do like the Rivals design. Yeah, I mean the Rivals design is still kind of fun too. So I'm not gonna get this cover, but I do like the image. Then we have a foil edition if you want to go with foil, and then a 1 in 25 if you want to start going with the incentives. I like how the negative space of the blood is making half of the skull there. That's also a neat little artistic trick there. And then we do have the cover A brought back without the trade dress. That's our 1 in 100 option there. Cool. Also from Marvel, we are getting the next installment of Hulk Smash Everything. So issue 3, cover A, cover B, and then there is a 1 in 25 option. Cool. Sorcerer Supreme, issue 3. So Wanda as the Sorcerer Supreme. Storyline continues. 2 covers here, one of them by Daughterman, and then we also have a 1 in 25 option here as well. Then we'll move on to Spider-Man and Wolverine. And for those of you fans of this team-up event or team-up series, it is coming to an end. So, at least it's not an ongoing. I told you I'm not a huge fan of when they just put two characters together and, oh, this is a title for a while. I mean, miniseries, sure. 10 issues seems like a long stretch, but I don't know. Both covers are pretty cool though. We got the Carrie Andrews, and then we have now I'm just drawing a blank now. Sandoval. I think did the B cover. But looking at that B cover, it looked familiar. Now I'm not saying it definitely is an homage, but it really does look like that Punisher War Journal Jim Lee cover to me. It's just something about the bricks with the cracks and Spidey on the wall. And yes, I realize it's Punisher. This is Wolverine. The poses don't match exactly, but it's close enough for government work. I think it could be. So, I don't know. It's what I saw when I saw this cover. The end of the 2099 universe is still continuing. 3 cover options for that. Wiccan and his Witch's Road still continuing with issue 3 there. 2 covers on that. And then we will get into a new sub-segment of Marvel, since Marvel is starting a new event for Spidey now that he's home from space with Death Spiral. So Death Spiral tying in with Null and all that kind of stuff. Here we go. I think there's going to be a new character called Death Spiral too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Well, anyway, we got to read it first, then I'll get into the whole thing. But Death Spiral Spidey event starting up this week with this one, I guess it's a one-shot special introduction to this event. And it is Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral. So there we go. I got to get it. Got to see what's going on here, right? Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage. Cool. Anyway, this is cover A. There is a few covers options here. You got to be. This is apparently going to be a connecting cover. We'll see how this thing gets built out as it moves along. Looks pretty cool, though, from the start. I like it. I do like this Scon Venom. It's a pretty cool look there, especially with the red background. Helps make him pop. This Stonehouse Carnage is okay, but I think following the other two, I think I like one of the other two better. It'll probably be the one that I pick up. Yet, these are our 3 options here that we're going to take and remove trade dresses from and make these our incentives, 25, 50, and 100, though. So there you go with the incentives for this book, all virgin versions of other open order covers. So with that, only installment for Death Spiral for this week, and then we'll move on over to the X-Men side of things over at Marvel, and we have a couple of Shadows of Tomorrow book. Now I realize not every X book is under the Shadows of Tomorrow imprint, but I'm just kind of gathering them all here because it seems to make sense and helps me organize my thoughts when I'm putting the show together. So Shadows of Tomorrow, the X books over at Marvel. Our next installment of Inglorious X-Force comes out this week, the second installment. I didn't love the first issue. I'll read the second issue. Again, I get most X books anyway, but I'll give it another shot. I don't know. Just didn't love it. We'll see where it goes. I think it's mostly because I didn't love all the players on the team. Like, not a big Helverine fan, but I do like Archangel. Boom Boom was an interesting choice. Cable, sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. So we'll give this a shot. Tim Seeley is writing it. I'll give this a little bit more of a try than beyond just issue 1. Didn't love issue 1. Didn't hate it either. Moving on from here, though, that is the cover A, but I'm probably going to get the B cover by Fan Yang because, well, it's Domino. It's awesome. I'm pretty sure she's joining the squad here as well, but I really do like this cover. There is a third. This is one of the Marvel Comics Presents where they're characters reading a comic book on the cover. We've seen these scattered throughout Marvel the last few years. Now we have Cable reading, a Doom book. More X-Force covers here. We got this one with an orange background, and then a second one with an orangey kind of background. I don't know. I'm getting the Fan Yang, so I'll leave those 2 there. Though the 1 in 25, not bad. Not bad. Philip Tan, I believe, on this one. This is, what do you call it? Archangel, front and center right there. That's kind of cool. But the 1 in 100 is that Fan Yang, but without the trade dress. So a virgin version of that is pretty nice. I'm fine just getting the trade dress, though, and not having to pay a 1 in 100 price point on a, comic book. So we'll leave it there. Anyway, moving on to Rogue. We have issue 2 of Rogue also coming out. We've got Shadows of Rogue, Nakayama giving us our cover A. Not bad. A couple other good cover options here as well, too. I really do like this one, though. Yasmin Putri. This is probably, I love because the trade dress being on the angle there. I like it when the trade dress works with the image, makes it like a more cohesive piece of art. I dig it. But there's our Putri cover. That's probably going to be the one that I get, though I do like the one in 25. I like the bright yellow pop. It has like a sort of an anime vibe by Ferrari. I kind of like it. Though the 1 in 50 brings back that Yasmin cover, and we take away the trade dress, which I like. And there is our 1 in 50, which again still is a cool image on its own. So there we go for our Shadows of Tomorrow. Now we'll go over to the Ultimate Universe over at Marvel, and we have one book out this week that's still hanging in there for this Ultimate Universe before it comes to an end and respawns into something else. But this week we have, I think it's the Ultimate book is out this week, right? So the Ultimate's number 21, Luke Cage, or Ultimate Luke Cage here on the cover. Pretty cool, right? So we've got him leading the way here on the cover. We've got Cerebus here with Phobos, I believe, on it, on our cover B by Inhyuk Lee. Then we've got third option as well. And then a 1 in 25 focusing in here on Luke Cage, who really looks like a Street Fighter character. I don't know. Maybe it's like the more of an anime manga style in this, but he just looks like he belongs in Street Fighter 6. At least that's what I see. Anyway, I like the chains all wrapped around the hands. It's kind of a cool look. We'll go over to the variants now over at Marvel. Cosmic Invasion being first. So wrapping up this cover set for the month of February. Well, it's actually January into February. But we have the final couple of this set with the Black Panther cover here, and as well as the Mortal Thor that has Beta Ray Bill on it. So that video game cover set is coming to a close here, running through January and February with these last two. Wrapping up just the February cover set, we have the Nakayama color block variants. So last couple of these red books that we're getting this week. And I believe we also have a pair here as well, starting off first with Iron Man number 2, Nakayama cover there, and a 1 in 50 option without the trade dress. And then we also have our other color block red, Sorcerer Supreme Wanda. Also pretty cool image. And then we have the 1 in 50 without the trade dress as well. This, again, finishes this cover set with these final two covers here. Also, wrapping up this cover set, we have Hell's Kitchen variants. These are those Punisherized Marvel heroes, and I think we're getting 3 to wrap this setup for this month and this week. And our first one being the Infernal Hulk. I don't really like this one. To be honest, this is not my favorite of the bunch. Granted, a lot of these Hell's Kitchen ones have been kind of just meh. Just like the Thor. It's all right. Not my favorite. Maybe the favorite of the week would have to be, I guess, be the MJ. You got the big Spider-Man logo there. But, I don't know. I expected a little more out of these Hell's Kitchen variants. But that's what we got. And that set is also wrapping up for this week. So there we go with those final 3. And that set is done with the 10th issue dropped. I don't know how many issues are in this McFarlane Toys variant cover set, but we have another one coming out this week. So that Amazing Spider-Man Death Spiral has a toy cover, basically. It's a close-up version of one of Todd's toys. So there you go. Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral, number 1. Pick it up if you like getting toy covers. I don't know. Or just buy a Toy Fair magazine. Now, before we move on to the indies, I have another break that I have to ask you to give me a second. And much like my BCW code, we're going to continue that with Renna 10, but over at Gemini. So if you need to sell your comics, you need to ship them, or you just need to ship comics, whatever, your supplies, shipping, and they also have boxes as well, shipping, supplies, etc. If you go over to Gemini to pick up that stuff, you can still use my code Renna10 for 10% off over there. So keep that in mind as well. So BCW, Gemini, wherever you're going to get your supplies, your shipping stuff, etc., you can use Renna10 at both places and still save yourself 10% off. You help the channel, you get yourself a few bucks off with your discount, and everybody's happy. So with that said, go over to Gemini, get your boxes and your mailers, etc., and save some money. Renna10. Moving on to Image first. So we're going to do the Image, the indie books next, but we're going to start off with Image. As probably our big 3, our the next biggest publisher behind DC and Marvel these days. So we'll start here first. We are going to start off first with the Author Immortal in the 5th and final issue of this run. So the end of this little mini. Whether it continues, it might, but we're going to stop it here for now at issue 5. with 2 covers. You got an A and you got a B. I'm going to be picking this up because I got all the other ones, and I'm going to finish up this storyline. So with that, we'll move on over to Capes. Reworking the original Capes comic book with new art and new dialogue, new writing. So, okay. It's kind of like a new book, but kind of not. It's a reboot, revamp, if you will. Issue 4, though, by Kirkman, coming out this week. So we got the A, we have a B cover, we've got some incentive variants with a 1 in 10. Looks like Jonah Jameson wearing an American flag, like what was it? Ocean's 13? What was the Ocean's 13? You know, the motorcycle dude, Don Cheadle was dressed up as him, jumping baby. That's what it looks like. Fender Rhodes. This is a Fender Rhodes moment. Anyway, 1 in 10. Then we got a sweet mullet on the 1 in 25 here, so you can't go wrong there with that mullet. And then we have a black and white version of that cover A for the 1 in 50. End of story arc here with Escape number 6. I know a lot of people love this story. I liked it to start, but then I just kind of faded and lost interest. So I only got like the first 2 issues, and then I kind of dropped. And then I was told I should pick up the others. I think I got like issue 4 or 5. I got to complete the set out to kind of finish this up, but end of story arc here with issue 6. It will be back in a couple of months. It's going to take an Image break of a couple of months and then start up a new storyline soon. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to give it a look-see again. This is the cover A. Then there is also a 1 in 15 incentive as well if you want to go the incentive route. I do have the 6th issue of Skinbreaker as part of my pull list, though, so I am still getting this one. I like this series. I like this storyline. And yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. Just going to probably get the cover A. The cover Bs have all the character profile, close-up faces, and then we get into incentives with the 1 in 10. It's not bad. 1 in 25, and it's okay. But I do like the 1 in 50. Eric Kanata, I think, did this one. I like this 1 in 50, but it looks like, I guess we're doing Avatar 2, where they're going underwater now. So the Way of Water. I don't know. I'm just messing around. But we do have The Phantom of the Opera finally coming out this week. I felt like this was coming out last week, but I don't know if it got delayed or pushed or what. But Phantom of the Opera, issue 1, out of Image and Skybound. Martin Simmons, I think, has the cover A. Well, I know Simmons is doing the interior art, but I think, well, anyway, we got the cover A, and then Middleton is doing the B cover. I know this one. So this is Middleton, which I think is pretty sweet. Then there is a blank and a die cut cover, which is like, you know, one of those masks that they've been doing lately with the Transformers. Then we've also got incentives with the 1 in 10. Bring back the Middleton, make it black and white for the 1 in 25. Then we've also got a 1 in 50. Not going to stop there. We're going to go to a 1 in 75. And then we're going to go up to a 1 in 100. So, yeah, a lot of covers. But all these Universal Monsters character books, miniseries, or whatever, have done this. So this is par for the course, really, with all these variants and incentives. It's just, you know, from the Invisible Man to the Frankenstein's monster to Dracula, etc. We've seen it. This is not new. So, yeah, a lot of covers, but it's par for the course. Void Rivals, continuing on with the Quintessence War, part 3 of 6. So we've got issue 27 here. There's our cover A. We've got a B cover over here. Then we've also got a Ben Oliver, pretty cool character. It's got Pythona, you know, from G.I. Joe. So we got that. And then we've also got a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50, which is actually pretty cool. I like this 1 in 50. I like kind of like standalone warrior there in the midst of some rubble and, yeah, etc. It's a cool look. Now, more from Image. We do have Final Boss continuing. So Final Boss number 4, pretty cool. You got a cover A, you got a cover B. We've got a Savage Dragon homage here, and then we've also got a 1 in 25. The Savage Dragon homage will take the color away, and that will be our 1 in 50. And then we also have a 1 in 100. So you got that. Cool. And I like it's got After Larson. So, you know, I love it when artists pay tribute when they do an homage. Doesn't, you know, can't go wrong by doing that. But yeah, it's like a Dune cover on the 1 in 100. But from there, Spawn. Gunslinger Spawn, to be precise. Issue 51. 2 options, A and a B. King Spawn. No, I'm sorry. Dark Ages Spawn. So Spawn the Dark Ages, part 3 of 6. Also 2 covers, but it is the trade dress and then the Virgin version. So there you go. So you don't get 2 cover options, really. You get trade dress or Virgin. You pick from those. Other Image books coming out this week, we have the next installment for Malevolent, and then we have the next installment for Knights, issue 18. I have this wedding edition. I remember this thing got optioned. I don't know whatever happened to that. Momentum kind of faded there. Power Fantasy comes out next with the next issue. I just couldn't keep up with this. Issue 16, it just, I don't know. Again, if it's good, I'll try to go back and do it. It's Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard, but I just didn't connect with me early on, so I just kind of let it slide. But heard it was good. Let me know again. Comments down below. These are books I should be picking back up once again. But I realize now as I'm doing this, I did forget a book because I forgot to do a segment in the show, which was going to be my taste test, because the taste test book that I was going to do was going to be the 3rd issue of Wrestle Heist, because Kyle Starks was on the channel a couple of weeks ago, and I was going to give the book a shot. And now that I'm doing the show, I realize I forgot to put that in the deck. So while we're talking about Image, Wrestle Heist number 3, don't have the images for it because I forgot to build the little segment. Was going to be my taste test book because I was going to give the series a try. But I don't know. Maybe we'll cover it the next time. But for now, let's move on over to Oni. Sorry, I don't have time to go back in and edit it because, like I said, I'm exhausted from all the shoveling, and I got to get this out today. So with that, Oni Press. What do we got from Oni? Not a lot. Not a lot. So from Oni this week, we have this apparently big book with all the kids. I don't know anything about murder drones. Apparently, there's an Amazon series, and there's like web videos, webtoons, web clips. I don't know, but kids apparently know all about this, and yeah, apparently it's a big deal of some sort. I just don't know. I'm an old man. I don't know. I don't understand this stuff. Don't know anything about it, but it looks pretty cool. At least with the cover A, and then you got a blank. Then we got a couple other covers here. So you got I don't know if it's B, C, and etc., but you got a couple of cover options here. We'll take some trade dresses away, be in some incentives with the 1 in 10 and the 1 in 20. Then we've also got a 1 in 50 and a 1 in 100. That's how strong they're supporting this book. It is going up to a 1 in 100 over at Oni. So murder drones, we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, the kids seem to like it. And with that, we will move over to the other Oni book for this week, which is Spirit of the Shadows, which is getting a second print for issue 1. So if you missed out on issue 1, we'll get to that later, the second print. But here is issue 2 with 2 cover options, and then the 1 in 10, which is a version of that one right there. So there you go. Dark Horse is next. Not a lot over at Dark Horse, but we can run through these pretty quickly as well, as we have a couple of books with a pair of covers on this Hellboy from the world of Hellboy, Miss Truesdale and the Rise of Man, issue 3. Bang, bang, A and a B. And then we also have the Red Book. So Red Book number 4, 2 cover options there. And then if you're into Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider series comes out with only 1 title. This Sacred Artifacts book, issue 2 of 4 for this mini-series. No other options, just this one. So there you go with that. Now we'll go over to Boom and see what Boom has for us this week. As again, not a ton. I was surprised. I thought there was going to be more options this week for across all of the publishers, but with it being the final week of the month, but not so much. Got a few things though. We have Alice Forever After, book 2, Dan Panosian's retelling of Alice with these 3 cover options, all open order. One being a Panosian, and then I think there's a Tuolote in there as well. And then we will take those B and C covers, take away the trade dresses, and there's our 1 in 10 and 1 in 25. Then we're going to move on over to Be Not Afraid. So Be Not Afraid, the end of this mini-series with issue 6, 2 cover options here. And then we have 2 other options with our Virgin incentives. So you got a 1 in 10 and a 1 in 20 there. And that will take us over to IDW next, and we have a handful of books to talk about here at IDW. No IDW Dark this week, but we do have regular IDW comics. Starting off first with The Rocketeer, The Island, starting up here. So this apparently is a storyline that is from Dave Stevens. Apparently they're taking a treatment that Dave Stevens was planning to do at some point and kind of finishing it off by writer John Layman, did Chew and Titans, and they're going to finish off Stevens' plan for this tale of the island where apparently the Rocketeer goes on to save Amelia Earhart. I know. I like the Rocketeer. I like Dave Stevens. And you can bet that I am going to be getting, not this cover A, but I'm going to be getting the B cover, which is Dave Stevens art. I believe this is art from somewhere else. I don't think it was ever used on a comic book cover, but I don't know if it was on the back cover or something, or just art that was out there. But yes, this Dave Stevens art, definitely picking up this cover because I'm still a big Dave Stevens fan. So gonna get this one for sure. And then there are other options as well, including a blank and a third one here, but it's by Sean Murphy. But like I said, Stevens is the way to go. I don't think there's any question about it, even though there is a 1 in 25 option here as well as a 1 in 50. So you can go with the incentive routes as well with the Betty Page, etc. But I don't know. Looking forward to this. We also have from IDW the 30 Days of Night wrapping up this little storyline with issue 3. So, oh, I'm sorry, this is IDW Dark. I should have put it in the other segment. It's got its whole segment, and I put it in the wrong place. My bad. Anyway, 30 Days of Night, Falling Sun is wrapping up with issue 3. The 2 covers here, and then the one is the Virgin 1 in 15. So there you go. Sleepy Hollow, also coming out this week. The Return to Sleepy Hollow, also part of IDW Dark. See, here I was making a whole big thing that there's no IDW Dark, and I just put them in with the regular books by accident. But Return to Sleepy Hollow, based off of the Tim Burton movie, that continues here with issue 4. 2 covers, and then there is also a 1 in 15 incentive here by Joelle Jones, I believe. Makes it look like a kind of paperback novelist kind of look. We have 2 covers on this Uhura book. So Star Trek Deviations, Threads of Destiny. Boom. Photo cover. It's just a one-shot. Photo cover and the art. I kind of dig the art, but I tell you, the photo cover for, is usually a fan of most as well. People like getting photo covers. I mean, in general, some people like getting photo covers for signatures. Other people just like getting photo covers for photo covers. But I don't know. I kind of like the art, personally. But moving on, we're going to go to the Turtles. We do have the Turtles Saturday morning cartoons coming out with issue 34. Wow, 34 issues of this. But yeah, 34, 3 covers. I don't know why we need 3, but there are 3. Pick whichever one you like, and we will roll on from here to the rest of the indies. So we have a bunch of other indie publishers that are offering us a book here or there. Like I said, not a ton. There's not a lot to go through. We'll definitely get this in, I think, in under an hour. But before we get to that, here are the publishers that are giving us nothing this week as I take a quick sip of my water because I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit here, talking on for an hour by myself. But as you can see, a lot of publishers not giving us anything this week, from Tokyo Pop to, Keen Spot shouldn't be in there. There is a Keen Spot book. My bad. That one should be out of there. But everybody else is sitting this one out. But we're going to start off first with AMP. So AMP Comics is giving us 2 covers on this, The House of Lothar, I guess. Story by Kaylin Smith. Also doing the art, I believe. So there's the A, there's the B. Pick which one you like. Then we'll go over to Antarctic, and Antarctic is giving us the 200th issue of Furlough, if you like your furry reindeer people. I don't know. I don't read this book. But 200, that's a lot. But there you go. Let me know. I don't know. Are we missing out? Or is this just something that's just out there? Also, from Antarctic, we have another nun book, The Order of St. Sophia, The Fall, issue 1 of 4 starting up. I don't know what's all these like nun titles. I mean, maybe it's not. It looks like a nun, and then you got the Order of Saint Sophia. Makes me think religious things, but I don't know if she's a nun or not. It is what it is. But Archie also giving us a book. We have Archie and Friends Space Adventures. Bubblehead covers. Gotta love the Peepaway cover there in the middle. That would be my pick if I was getting one of these for sure. But yeah, Archie, 3 cover options for their Space Adventures. I kind of like the poster too, with Jughead, and then you got the crazy helmet there. Bad Idea has Save Now coming out this week. So we've got Save Now, I think it's issue 3, if I'm not mistaken. Issue 3 of Save Now coming out here with A and a B. And then there's a 1 in 20 by Simonson, I believe. Moving on from here, Dynamite is giving us the next installment of their Supernatural comic, which, as a Supernatural fan, I'm getting this almost out of habit. So issue 5, multiple covers as well. A, B. I think I've just mostly been getting the Clayton Crane just to cover A's, but there's other options, including a photo cover. If you like to go that route, you can get your Sam and Dean on a photo cover. But yeah, Supernatural number 5, Maleficent. Also coming out this week, I believe this is the end of this little mini series here. I had the end in here, but I must have deleted it when I was doing the rest of this. But 4 covers, and then it's Dynamite. They do variations on all of these, throughout. Move some trade dress here, a little black and white version there, etc. But Maleficent #5 wrapping up that mini series as they also begin the next mini series for Ursula. So the character of Ursula getting a mini series. So if you like these Disney villains characters, Dynamite has you covered. 3 options there and 2 more over here. Again, this real stuff isn't really for me. I try to give things like the DuckTales series a chance because I do like the cartoon of DuckTales, but certain things, especially at my age, don't play as well as like my memories and nostalgia for the cartoons. So it is what it is. Comic book #11 coming out. I would probably get the launch pad if I was getting any of these. And then there's 2 more over here. Then we also have more ducks for you with Uncle Scrooge from Fantagraphics. So you got Uncle Scrooge #5, A and a B, and then we have the Banks 1 in 10 here on the C. So if you want to get the 1 in 10 option, there you go. Ignition giving us the next installment of Murder Podcast with issue 5. A and a B cover. I believe the B cover is part of a connecting cover set that kind of features a character and then some craziness going on in the background. But Murder Podcast, issue 5. And then we have Voyeur, issue 4. These were their first titles I remember from this Ignition press from a while ago. Both very suggestive, these two covers at least. Not bad. And then we're going to go over to a new publisher for my little deck here. This is IPI Comics, issue 2, Veil of Tears. It looks like old computer graphic art to me, like from those like the Mist that you play. Well, it's still on the floppy disk games. Like that's what it reminds me of. But that's just off the cuff, me looking at this cover and trying to think of something to say because I don't know much about Veil of Tears. So we're going to move on to what we do have from Keen Spot. Like I said, there are books from Keen Spot. I missed out on it. But this Maid Cafe book, so the Execution Posse, the Cadillacs that have all the different gangs, etc. I guess Maid Cafe is part of that, including a Mark Spears cover there on the cover A. Not my favorite, but not bad. A and a B. There is also a foil edition. I believe it's also polybagged with a card of some sort. There's some random cards also included with this Maid Cafe book, if I'm not mistaken. And I think there's also a 1 in 90 metal cover of this same foil image, like the same image as the foil, but I just didn't put that in here because it's a 1 in 90. One, it's a weird incentive. 2, it's crazy high ratio, and I don't know how many people are going to actually buy it. Yeah, it might be super expensive, but it's a 1 in 90 for a Maid Cafe. I don't know. Anyway, moving on from here, Mad Cave has a bunch of stuff. Again, sorry, I'm getting kind of tired. I'm exhausted. But we have Ferocious issue 4 is Ted OK #1 with 2 covers. So we got that title starting up from Mad Cave. And then we have a continuation of these other series, The Liquidator #4, New Space Age #3, and then Temporal #5, which I think is the end of that series as well. So I think that's the final part of that little mini. Over at Titan, we have 5 covers for their Conan book. Actually, I think there might be more, but I only did the 5, A, B, C, and then a D and an E. So yeah, Conan the Barbarian out of Titan. And then Titan is also giving us Craniacs #4 by Simcoe of Garbage Pail Kids fame. I spotlighted this one here at the end because that is a flops cover. So yeah, it's flops. So I'm going to get it. It's not my favorite because I don't know much about these Craniacs characters or things, but it's still a flops. So I'm still going to get it. So there you go. You got a flops cover there. Udon is giving us a Street Fighter Darkstalkers crossover again, Hunter Killers 1-2. Brett Bean doing that cover over there. You know Brett Bean for Dork. So could be some interest on some of his other stuff as people are all about Dork these days and White Sky. But Darkstalkers Street Fighter part 4. Oh no. I mean Lords of Makai part 4, but #1 for this title. Yeah, sorry, confusing myself with all these numbers that are thrown out here on the title. There is a 1 in 5 though, so as always, keep an eye on the 1 in 5s out of Udon. I do so with the Mega Mans in particular, and some of the Street Fighters. But yeah, some of these 1 in 5s could pop here or there, so keep an eye on it. And then we also have Vault giving us the next issue of Barbaric. So I haven't read all the way back to the beginning of Barbaric, but I'm kind of playing catch up, and I know they are bringing us a series with Patrick Stewart doing the voice of the Axe. And yeah, talking weapons these days. I mean, even Dork had a talking shield. Here's a talking axe. We've got talking weapons all out there. So Vault is giving us Barbaric #2, The Long Death, issue 2, with 2 covers here. And then we've got, I think these might be polybag. Well, at least the one is polybag, because those censored out black bits will not be censored out on the version that you get. And then the other one's a Lilith crossover. And then we have some incentives with a Brett Bean, again, from Dork, doing the 1 in 10. And then we got a 1 in 25 option here as well. And this is issue 2 for this miniseries. Then we'll go on over to Wake, and Carla Cohen giving us this awesome Sensia cover on Ascension number 32. So yeah, there you go. I know at the bottom it says not final cover art, but this is the cover art for the most part. And then there is also a 1 in 25, which is a virgin version of that. And I think there's also a 1 in 50 that's signed, but it is what it is. 1 in 25. Magazines. There are a couple of magazines or magazine size things that we can talk about here. Starting off first with DC, and we have that Batman book. What's it called? The sorry, The Batman Second Night has 3 covers on this black label, prestige format, magazine sized book, A, B, or C. Pick your favorite. And then Titan Publishing is giving us, we're getting near the end, but not quite there yet. Star Wars Insider, I believe, is ending soon. But here we go with A cover and a B cover. I think there's also like a subscription cover out there too. But looking at Rogue One, 2 covers here on your Star Wars Insider if you still pick those up. I used to get these all the time. I can't remember where I might have stopped, but I'll have to look. I might even still have pre-ordered this for all I know. But anyway, got to keep it rolling. Got to keep it rolling to Facsimiles. So with Facsimiles, we actually have a lot of Facsimiles this week, more so than normal. So with that, let's just get right into it and take a look first at Action Comics. So we've got Action Comics number 419. Superman, yeah, plus the Human Target. There's a foil edition as well. That's $1 more, or I'm sorry, $3 more. And then there's also a blank. We also have the Dark Knight Returns 40th anniversary here. So Frank Miller's classic Dark Knight Returns. We're getting a whole run facsimile reprinted, including this, a foil version, a blank version, and then 2 new covers. One by Jim Lee. I like Jim Lee, a fan. And then a new one by Frank Miller that, I'm sorry, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. He's diving down, holding his cape in his hands. How can we see the bottoms of his boots? They would be covered up by his cape. Unless, for some reason, he's tucked his cape in between his feet, which means his feet are now stuck and tangled up in his cape as he's falling through the sky because he's holding. I just don't understand the logistics of this. This is an improbable position he's put himself in, and just, we don't need this. What was the point of this? Just Facsimile, just leave us with the art we already had. And yes, Jim Lee, I guess you want to do a cover. I know. But that, I don't know what the hell's going on there with the feet. I just don't. Anyway, moving on from there, though. Secret Origin Supervillains Limited Collector's Edition. This is a big, I could have put this in the magazine size because it's the big boy. $15 on this thing, too. And there's a foil edition that's $5 more than that, I believe. So, yeah, get it if you want it. G.I. Joe also getting the facsimile treatment on issue 2 from Skybound. So if you want to get that original Real American Hero series, maybe they're going to be reissuing all of these at $4 a piece over time. I don't know, but we had 1. Now we've got 2. We'll see how far they go. There is a foil edition of this one as well. If you want to get a shiny foil version for another $1, or you can get new art, which I've actually been picking up the new art stuff because, I don't know, just seems interesting, I guess. And I know it goes against everything I say about facsimiles with new art, but I still just look at it like a reprint. So I'm not looking at it like a facsimile. I'm just looking at it as a later print with a new cover. And those I do like to collect. But with that, Daredevil, Man Without Fear, this big crossover book. Granted, yes, this book has gotten hot a few times over the years, especially with Punisher showing up in Born Again, and he's going to show up in Born Again season 2. But it's still an affordable book. I don't know if we needed a facsimile of this. I mean, you can get a copy for $5. Why pay $5 for a reprint when you can get the original for $5? But if you want it, you can get it, or you can get a shiny foil version of it, or hey, there's new art. Let's get into later printings now. We're already hitting an hour. I'm sorry. Wanted to get this under an hour, but looks like we're going to be just over. Later prints for this week, only a few. Probably about as many as we had of the facsimiles. But we're going to start off first with Assorted Crisis Events. Again, big doings with this book over the last few weeks, couple months, if you will. Good read. Definitely good read. I know this issue in particular got hot out of the gate, had that original old school newspaper print. I believe the reprint will not have that same paper stock, but you can still read the issue and keep on continuing with the series if you want with issue 8 here with the second printing. In case you missed Alice Forever After, book 1, as we got the next issue coming out this week as well, you can go and pick up issue 1 to kind of play catch up. Same deal with the Spirit of the Shadows. If issue 2 is coming out this week. If you missed out on the first issue, here's your chance to play catch up with a second printing. Null, issue 1, second printing of this Null miniseries. I think it's only like 5 issues, but issue 1, we've got Null. We've got more Null on a 1 in 25 second print Virgin cover. Then we got third prints with Dead Samurai at Awake. I like samurais. It's pretty cool. Then we've also got Ordained. Ordained, the third print of that series. Solid read. This is being adapted as well. Colin Farrell, I believe, playing the main character. But we got a third print here from this book from Bad Idea. Fornes giving us this cover. And then there is a 1 in 20 incentive cover on this third printing here as well. So they're your Ordained options. And that'll take us to our final segment, which is the Cheesecake Covers. Few here, not a ton, but, still like the cover of this stuff, and I know a lot of you do as well. So we put it here at the end, just kind of our dessert after we went through all the other books. And we have Vampirilla first. Perillo, can't go wrong. Always a Perillo cover on the Vampy books, right? So you got Perillo here. We got a Derek Chew option, very solid. Linsner can't be left out, so Linsner's got to get his Vampy cover in. And then we also have a fourth option, as well as a cosplay. And then from the cosplay, we will go into the Celine 1 in 10. So this is a 1 in 10 by Celine. So normally I don't cover the incentives, but this is new art on this 1 in 10, which is why I put it here. So there you go. Over Antarctic, from the Critterverse, this rookie character has 2 covers that kind of fit our little cheesecake area with this cover and then the B cover, which I think is a bit better. Here on the field. The other one with the white background is kind of bland. I like the background here. You got the field. I think it's a more well thought out image there. So I like the B cover on this one. Then we also have Mercy Sparks. So Shubina, I know a lot of people, big fans of late. I like some others. This is not my favorite. The legs are just way too long. It's just a personal preference. I know things don't have to be completely like proportionate or realistic or life to life, but I don't know, just a tiny head and the super long legs. I don't know, it's just not me. But that doesn't mean I don't like a cover in this series. I'm not a big fan of the cover A here. Cover B is a bit better. Give me the middle finger. The 1 in 5 is even better than that. And this is my favorite cover with a 1 in 5. And then we do have the 1 in 10, which is the light version, I guess, the character. And anyway, the 1 in 5 is really, really good. And usually I say it's a good cover, but it's not my favorite. It's not the best of the week. But you know what? I might not be right. If I were to say that, because actually this is my best cover of the week for the incentive variants. This 1 in 5, it's my favorite. I don't know what to tell you. It just is. I like it. So Joel Herrera, you did a hell of a job on this one. I like it. And I mentioned earlier on, it may be a bit of a cheat. I know. One of my favorite artists. He has passed. So anytime I see his art, I get excited. Dave Stevens. Yeah, I'm picking this up. So this is my favorite regular cover of the week. The Dave Stevens Rocketeer. Can't go wrong there. So with that, that is the show. I know it went over an hour. I didn't mean to. Like I said, I was exhausted to begin with, but I guess we had more to cover than I thought. So with that all said, thank you for all the support. I do appreciate it for both me and for the channel. We got plenty more coming your way in the year ahead. So thanks for sticking with us. Let me know again about those books that we were talking about this week. If there's any that I should be taking a look at or taking a gander at to give it a try. Also, not just for my sake, but other viewers and readers might be curious as well. So put it down in the comments below. Make sure that you like and you subscribe and you hit that alert button so you don't miss anything if you haven't already. And with that, I will see you all later with some more content. All right.